Happy belated birthday, George Jetson. And in honor of this special day, we are going to be taking a look at the theatrical film, Jetsons the Movie. But first, a word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Liquid IV. Liquid IV is a hot new hydration drink that keeps you hydrated throughout the day. And if you work in a hot kitchen like me, you'll definitely need it. One stick of Liquid IV to 16 ounces of water gives you 2 to 3 times more hydration than water alone. You don't have to take my word for it. Take a look at the science of cellular transport technology, designed to enhance rapid absorption of water and other key ingredients into the bloodstream. Not only is it good for you, but they taste good as well. They come in all kinds of flavors, like passion fruit, lemon lime, and tangerine. My favorite is the passion fruit, and I have trouble sleeping at night, so the sleep multiplier drink is very effective, and I wake up feeling so good. Liquid IV is a great charitable company. With each purchase, they donate to someone in need, selling over 16 million servings globally and counting. You can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the promo code 47cartoonguy. Again, go to liquidiv.com and use the promo code 47cartoonguy. Thanks again to Liquid IV for sponsoring this video. Now, on with the show. I always felt the Jetsons was one of the HB properties more deserving of a revival. With more and more technology in our always changing world, it'll be cool to see their takes on it, as well as modern life in the future. For whatever reason, it seems like they always had trouble getting some kind of continuations off the ground. There was the late 90s reboot that was cancelled after the Turner Time Warner merger, and a live-action sitcom on ABC in 2017 that never saw the light of day. It wasn't until that same year we got a new Jetsons project, Jetsons WWE Robo WrestleMania, and it was a stupid WWE crossover. The kids today don't know what the Jetsons are. Hey, let's add those wrestling guys. That'll bring in the bucks. But I guess the main reason we haven't seen much of the Jetsons is probably due to the failure of the 1990 motion picture, Jetsons the Movie. Jetsons the Movie was directed by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, their last production they ever directed together, and written by the late Dennis Marks, who also wrote the animated Tom and Jerry movie. The plot revolves around George Jetson getting a promotion from his boss, Mr. Spacely, causing the whole family to move. It turns out, George is running a new Spacely Sprockets asteroid mining plant, but it keeps malfunctioning, and something seems to be sabotaging the plant's progress. That something turns out to be a group of creatures called the Grungies, available wherever toys are sold. The other members of the Jetsons clan have their own subplots too. Elroy, frustrated on losing his spaceball game, meets a new friend, Teddy 2, who's the robot son of George's co-worker. Judy falls in love with a new boy, who looks like he should be fighting cavity creeps. And Jane, well, she's shopping. Hey, don't look at me, that rap song at the end says it.
Judy's got a boyfriend, Elroy's got his team, Jane's shopping. Women be shopping, baby.
Plot really isn't all that spectacular, and the message can be a bit on the nose, but I'm not gonna lie, I honestly find this movie pretty entertaining. It's funny because I don't think this ever aired on Cartoon Theater back in the day, and I think I first saw it when I was a teen on Encore or something. Before then, I had no idea it existed. There's a good reason, but we'll get to that in a minute. All your favorite characters are back, looking and sounding different than before. Sadly, many of the original voice actors would end up being replaced, and for most of them, it was their final film. Dawes Butler, voice of Elroy, died before the film was in production, and George O'Hanlon and Mel Blanc died during the film recording their lines for George and Mrs. Spacely. Voice actor Jeff Bergman was brought in to finish their lines.
It's time for the Jetson traffic beater. Inflate-a-cop. Sure, Elroy. I wouldn't miss it for the universe.
Don't slobber, George. You and your family leave tomorrow.
Don't give those guys any more donuts.
And yeah, let's get to the elephant in the room. For those who don't know, Judy was voiced by original voice actress, the late great Janet Waldo, who reprised her role and recorded all her lines for the film. But some genius at Universal thought to replace her with then pop star Tiffany, who was originally supposed to just sing the songs. Executives thought her name would attract a hip young audience. There was just one problem. Animated films take a long time to make, and by the time the movie was ready to release in 1990, Tiffany's popularity was on the decline. As Iwu Takamoto recalled, 15 years later after the fact, Janet Waldo was still working, while most people, saying the name Tiffany automatically brings to mind a lamp. Even a photo spread in Playboy was unable to revive the singer's career. Side note, said Playboy spread? Really nice. The practice of replacing talented voice actors with celebrities for name recognition still goes on today, and people are really getting sick of it, and I'm really happy to see that. While Tiffany is no voice actress, she can't be blamed for this, and I don't blame her. You can tell she's generally trying to put on a good performance, but the songs she sings in the film, while dated, kick so much ass. I Always Thought I'd See You Again is a sweet love ballad, and I can listen to You and Me 1,000 times and never get tired of it. In fact, that's another thing about the movie. It's dated, but it does have its charm. Like the late 80s, early 90s music video, the rapping, even the CG, which was probably impressive for the time, but now looks like PS1 graphics. The animation too is worth talking about. Back then, feature films based on cartoon shows weren't really as often as you may think, so they were given much bigger budgets. It could have more movement and shading, and the characters felt more alive compared to the series' limited animation. At some parts, you can even see when Kennedy cartoons took over. There's also great character moments. I love the scene where George finally grows a pair and stands up to Mr. Spacely. John Debney's score is pretty nice too, having a familiar Jetsons theme, but also very epic for a feature. John actually got his start in TV and was trained by Hanna-Barbera veteran Hoyt Curtin, and this was one of his first major films. The movie was finally released July 1990. It was promoted well, with Universal Studios advertising the film on their then new simulator ride, The Funtastic World of Hanna-Barbera, and Wendy's had a tie-in with the film for their kids' meals. But the movie bombed, and the critical reception was no better. Since then, other than their presence on Cartoon Network and some of the other Turner stations, and the on and off again revivals, the Jetsons were pretty much dormant the next few decades. So why did the movie bomb? Like I said before, feature films based on a cartoon wasn't as common as you may think. In fact, many parents probably didn't just feel like paying for something they could watch on TV for free. And if you're going to adapt a cartoon to the big screen, it should be a grand epic. But even though I like this movie, it really wasn't. Compare this to, say, DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp, which came out that same summer. It had a much thrilling story and the ante was definitely upped. In the late 90s and early 2000s, thanks to the Rugrats movie, a slew of feature films based on more contemporary cartoons were released, though only a few were successful. But you know, I still like the film, and I would even recommend it, but only if you're a fan of the Jetsons. I think maybe then you'll know what you're getting into. You can stream it on Amazon Prime and even get it on DVD and digital download. Check it out and see for yourself. I'm 47 Cartoon Guy, and I gotta fly. Before I wrap up, I want to bring this to your attention. It was recently announced that WB was shelving two projects, Batgirl and the school prequel Holiday Haunt. Both were almost completed. Whether you thought these films were pointless or whatever is far from the issue. The point is, the crew members for both films deserve to have their hard work seen. It's an idiot move, but if WB will listen to Snyder fanboys, they should listen to us as well. Spread the word with hashtags, sign petitions, and let WB know we want these films released. I thank you, and I gotta fly. If you want to support this series and many other videos, click the link below to my Patreon. You get a special credit, early access, shout out to your channel or blog, even a commission by me. Every dollar goes into the production of these videos for software, research, DVDs, as well as help put food on the table. If you're not able to donate, you can also help by liking, commenting, subscribing, and clicking the little bell icon. I thank you, and I gotta fly.